And we are live, Chris. Welcome to the Dad Show, as we call it, the Dialogues About Dad Show.
Yeah.
Today is episode 30.
30.
Can you believe it?
Amazing. We're doing
Wow.
this for about a year and a half now.
It's
For
crazy. I
two and a half
just,
years.
time flies when you're having fun, right?
It sure is, man. We have been just going like gangbusters, and we got a full packed show today with some great questions on today's Friday the 13th, but it's
Yes.
February. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day weekend, so today is what you mentioned it yesterday, Galentine's today.
Yep.
So
Everybody know what Valentine's Day? If you know what it is, put it in the comments so you're going to get a big star by your name. We actually went out to dinner last night, and there were these young people who didn't know it was Valentine's Day today. And I'm like, that's the day that we girls celebrate our friendship, our sisterhood, because, not everybody has a loved one in their life. And
that's
so
right.
get together the day before, not to have anything to do with Valentine's, but just to celebrate that we can love each other as friends. And I think women really need friends. And that's,
That's right.
I think, what we're reinforcing. So I'm going out with my girlfriends. Hopefully some of your team is going to join us
Yes.
tonight to go to a movie and a show, but that'll be fun. But yeah, so today,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, which sometimes people think is a little taboo.
Yeah, I throw that out the window. I think it's a special day. I think you should celebrate Friday the 13th, and because
Yes.
it's only every like maybe once or twice a year. So
Yes.
you go ahead and embrace it and just seize the day and make the
Love it.
best of it. Especially here, today we're in bright sunny Southern California. We have a great sunny day, but I know we've got the big storm rolling in here next week. But this is a great time of year, February. It's kind of crisp and cool outside, but we got the sun beaming down on us today, so we're looking forward to a great weekend and sharing it with our loved ones.
I love that. I love that. So, as we said, today's theme, as you can see on the screen, is how to celebrate love while processing grief on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. Because I think when you've just lost someone, at least within the first year, each holiday is hard. And
It
even
is.
if it's been 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you see Valentine's all around you. Your heart's in the grocery store, the balloons, the
Yeah.
flowers. And if your loved one is in heaven, like that, it gets a little awkward. So, Chris today is going to share, and he has a very unique perspective being a widower,
Yep.
of how he's had to deal with Valentine's Day and helped other people through it. Through his experience. So we've got some questions. And then also before we go, we're not going to have a show next month, but we are going to have one on April 10th. So mark your calendars. And Chris, do you want to share now or at the end of the show why?
Sure. Well, I'll give you a teaser. So the reason we're going dark next month because I'm going to be traveling. I'm doing a mission trip in Armenia, and we can tell a bit more about it at the end of the show. But I'm going to be gone a couple weeks, and so my schedule's not going to allow me to do a podcast next month. So that's why just pray for me while I'm out there in my travels and all the things that I'll be doing here. And we'll if we have time at the end of the show, we'll talk a little bit more about it.
Okay, I love it. Well, let's get right into the questions, Chris,
You bet.
because a lot of them actually came in that I think will really help a lot of people.
You bet.
Also, excuse me, solved wrong. We have Kathy who just joined us. Good morning,
Good
Kathy.
morning, Kathy. Thanks for checking in. Good
Yep,
seeing
and
you.
happy Friday the 13th and Galentine's Day to you since you're a girl. just trying to leave Chris out, because he's
There
a
we go.
I love it. And Kathy, I also sent you an email, so just want to look at that. All right, so we're going to get right into the first question, and the first question is, and I'll go off screen so you can answer it, Chris. So maybe what is one small thing someone can do to honor a loved one without being emotionally drained? Because that's the
Mm,
thing with these things. Sometimes it builds up inside, and we just become so tired and emotionally drained. So what's one small thing we could do on Valentine's Day without being emotionally drained?
sure. You know what? You can't let on Valentine's Day. There's so much pressure. I think on the guys. On Valentine's Day of trying to do something for their loved ones, and I don't. I think you just need to keep it simple. It's always through the last 20, 30 years, they've commercialized it so much where it's like, oh, you got to get candy, you got to get flowers, you got to get all these cards and things like that. And I think it's really just spending time with your loved ones. Time is so precious. And so I would say taking a little time out of your day, maybe today. I mean, you should do it all the time, but maybe like between today and tomorrow, and maybe this weekend, since we have the whole weekend together, is you spend time with that special someone, and maybe just connect. Maybe share some stories from your past with each other. Mary was saying, go out and see a movie, have some dinner, but maybe just have time alone, maybe so you don't have diversions. Some of you may have some young children. Maybe get a babysitter and just go out and maybe just take a walk. Go out early tomorrow morning, maybe at sunrise, take a walk, get out in nature, and just enjoy one another. So you relieve the stress and hustle bustle of this holiday that is meant to be kind of to highlight the ones you love, but really take it down a notch and just enjoy the moment of just being with those, because you never know when they're going to be taken away. Just as a side note, as Mary mentioned, I'm a widow, and I've talked about it in past shows. My wife actually died on February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. So we're coming up on our 9th year anniversary here this Saturday or this Sunday. And so my last Valentine's Day with her was in the hospital the day before she passed away. And the kids had cards. We all had cards. We gave her Valentine's Day cards. And what I did is I was going through a drawer the other day, and I actually found that last Valentine's Day card that I gave her and the words that I wrote to her. We gave them to her, but then, afterwards I took it back because I didn't want, she couldn't take them with her. So I said, I might as well keep it as a memory for me. So it was really nice. I opened it up. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I opened it up and I read the card. I'm like, oh, those were some beautiful words that I said at the time. And it's something that I will always cherish. So I'll keep that one card for the rest of my life. And it was pretty cool.
That's wonderful. I actually visited your wife in the hospital the day before. So it'd be today.
Yeah.
Wow.
9 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I remember getting a sticker that said palliative care, and I stuck it randomly inside my medicine cabinet, and it's still there today. Like, I've never taken it off. And so I, open my medicine cabinet, and it doesn't, hit me all the time, but yeah, it was today.
Yeah.
And what year was that again, Chris?
That was in 17.
17.
So 9 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Time just
how
flies.
time really goes by, and time does heal wounds. It's bittersweet. We lost her 9 years ago, but the pain isn't as great as it was 9 years ago.
Sure.
We've been able, me and my family, my kids, we've all been able to move on. But again, we don't forget our loved ones. I mean, we spent 25 years together, and it's days like this weekend. So for several years, right after, like the first 5 or 6 years, I really didn't celebrate Valentine's Day very often. It was kind of painful knowing that I lost my wife right around Valentine's Day. So I don't decorate as much around the house, where I love decorating for Christmas and Halloween and the 4th of July and Thanksgiving. I decorate for all the holidays. But the one holiday I just don't decorate a lot for is Valentine's Day. And I think it's just, maybe that's the way I kind of memorialize it. It's just kind of a blank slate for me. And maybe I should change and celebrate it more. But for me, I don't put up in my house all the hearts and all the other things around my house. I just keep it as just another normal day for me. And that's just kind of the way you could say, highlighted this holiday, is by just kind of keeping it neutral. But I do have other family members, loved ones. I have a little grandson. I'll show you here. He made me a little Valentine here. And so that's his first handprint. He's going to be 1 year old on Monday. So he was born last year he's 1, but he was born on February 16th, was the day after my wife had died 8 years ago. So it was kind of one of those moments that, here, my little grandson was born on the day that she passed away, which is kind of a good memory. So now every year we're going to celebrate Chance's birthday, which instead of celebrating Rhonda's passing, we're going to be celebrating the birth of my grandson every year. So in a way, that's kind of like the highlight of having him born and having him in our lives now. And so I look forward to this weekend. We're going to be going down with family and spending time with Chance and celebrating him and his first birthday.
That is so cool. I think last year we were talking about that. It was almost like Rhonda, like, I know it sounds weird, like giving her blessing or something, like being a part of it.
She gave us a gift.
Yeah. And because he came from heaven. So that is, I know that I have chills actually thinking about that. And cool. So when the first question that came in, it wasn't really about what you could do on Valentine's, but we're talking about what to do with Valentine's if you've lost someone. So, like
Yeah,
last week, we had that grief painting
we
class,
did.
and the people who came were able to express their grief, like put a
Yeah,
message into the back of the painting that we painted over so they knew it was a prayer or a message to the one that they had lost. And then they created something that they could bring home. And just like I said, it could be a non existent, like you don't ever talk about it,
that's
or it could
right.
be something you put up proudly to say, hey, you know, this is something I made for, you know, my husband or my daughter
My wife.
when
Yeah,
somebody had lost a baby,
yeah,
like a miscarriage, and so it was her honoring the baby. So
yeah.
it was just it's a lovely thing, and so I'm looking forward to doing more of those because
Yes,
it gets such a great um, response, which is
it
awesome.
is.
Okay, let's get to the next question, and
You
thank you for
bet.
sharing about Rhonda. I
You bet.
just had that flashback, and so wow,
Yeah,
I actually loved her. Okay, so the next question came in is, and you spoke about your kids.
yep.
So, and I see you squinting, Chris.
Well, I got my screen down shrunk down so it keeps it focused, so I can
Okay,
keep my eye on my camera, so it's not big blown up, so I don't
I'm
see it. So
I'm just giving you a hard time. We're friends. I'm
yeah,
just giving you a hard time. No, you don't have to put your. I'll read it to
actually,
you.
it's worse with the glasses on. To be honest with you,
Well, I'm glad you're not wearing them because you don't have that, you know, that glare. You're a
yes.
pro. Okay, so the sorry, I got the giggles. Okay,
How,
so the question is,
how can parents talk to their children about Valentine's Day when someone important is missing?
you did it. You did it. You read it. Awesome. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off screen and giggle. So yes, how can parents talk to their children? Because it again, it comes up with kids too. They ask questions, and it's important to recognize that as well. So I'll go off screen.
I think what we just talked about a little bit. Last week we had it was a paint and remembrance where people were able to paint a little message, and I would say take the time with your children to make a special Valentine for grandma or grandpa or mom or dad, and have them draw them some hearts and things, and let them know that that they're no longer physically with us, but their spirit, their Holy Spirit is with us, and that they're amongst us every day, even though they're not physically, you can see them. And I would say, get put some crayons and markers on the table and some paper and stuff, and have them express their feelings of love, and with a little photograph of that loved one, and put it on display around the house for this weekend or around for the next couple days. I think that'd be one way that families can bond with their children when it comes to losing a loved one, is just spending that time together and remembering them through a little artwork. And artwork is so a one great way to express yourselves, and it's an outlet. Everybody has different ways of maybe uh, expressing themselves, and art is one wonderful way. Some people might do it through reading or maybe just going out and exercising, but if you express yourself through art or music, hum a song, write a song, maybe write some music notes or something about that person, and you can create some special memories that way. Some people here with TikTok and technology, maybe make a TikTok with your kids or with your friends, and make a tribute that way, because then those types of memories are always seem to be everlasting. Now with the video technology, uh, people can put things on video and pictures so easily, with everybody having cameras at their hand right here. So take the time and express yourself through art and music.
I love that. That's awesome. And because you ought to be relatable, and
Yeah,
those are the things that will remain and be something that because we are also no one's going to get out of here alive. So
yeah,
by making those memories now with your grandkids, even if it's in a tribute to someone who's already in heaven,
that's
those
right.
things are going to be remind your grandchildren how awesome and cool you are
That's right.
by doing those things with them now, which is
That's
awesome.
right.
And speaking about being cool, Chris, something
Yeah.
that I know that you want to promote because it's near and dear to your heart is the upcoming chili cook-off with the
Yes.
Rotary.
Our Circle City Rotary is having our 11th annual Fire and Ice Chili Cook-Off and Craft Beer Festival. And this year we've moved to a new location. It's going to be at the Crossings at Corona. It's going to be on February 28th from 11 to 3. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite. It's a great day. I've looked at the forecast, and it looks like it'll be in the low 70s and sunny that day. We have about 30 to 35 brewers and about 20 to 25 chili contestants. And we have food vendors from around the Crossings campus there. It's going to be held right in front of the Regal Theater, right by the fountain at the Crossings. So come on down and enjoy a beautiful day. It's pet friendly and children friendly. Kids come in free, 12 and under, and you can bring your pets as long as they're on a leash. And you can enjoy a lot of great beer and chili and a lot of camaraderie.
I love it. I went last year and had so much fun. People are just in a great mood. There's wonderful music, a lot of really fun people there. And Chris, say a little bit about what the money goes towards, because it's not
Sure.
just drinking and eating chili. Like there's things that are going on.
The money we raise goes to all local charities and scholarships. We have one scholarship. It's the automotive scholarship at Corona High School, where we usually will award two students like $4,000 scholarships each to an automotive tech school. We also are looking at doing another scholarship where we'll pay like 2 years of community college to 2 years of university. So like almost like a full ride scholarship. And then we outreach to local charities such as like the Peppermint Ridge, Inspire, Leaps and Bounds. So those are just a few of the other groups that we kind of reach out to here in the community. But we award over like 20 different grants to other organizations throughout our community, helping some of the homeless, the needy, the underserved. So our Rotary Club last year, we raised over $100,000 and gave away over 60 after we paid our expenses to the event. We were able to give almost $60,000 out to our community, which was pretty awesome. So it was all because of you coming out and supporting us, our Circle City Rotary. So thank you.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing about that. Yeah, because there's only 3 weeks away. Like it's coming up.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah. In fact, this week, I think it's almost just 2 weeks away. Yeah, we're in February.
The 14th and 20th is 2 weeks away from tomorrow.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's fun. Put it on your calendars.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
But I just thought we'd pull that in because I know that's so important. $60,000 to local charities. That is impressive.
Yep. Scholarships and local charities.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. All right. So the next question that came in is, how do you handle invitations or social plans when you're not really sure you'll be able to participate? Like you don't want to maybe at the last minute or something, but kind of how do you handle that?
Well, let's see here. You know, I'm a person that always likes to, I overextend myself and I want to try to go to everything and do everything, but sometimes it's good to have time to yourself and say no. So, and I know sometimes people are trying to reach out to you, especially if you're a widow or you're alone. It's important to get out. I do encourage people to get out and not stay in and be a recluse or be indoors. But sometimes you overdo it, and sometimes you need a little time to yourself. But you can just politely decline, saying, you know what, tonight may not work or tomorrow, but how about like you reschedule it to a time that might fit into your schedule better, so you're not so overwhelmed. Because sometimes if you overdo it, being overwhelmed is not good either. That's not good to feel that way. So just maybe take a step back, and maybe sometimes there's some nights here I just enjoy just staying home and just cozying up next to the fireplace with maybe a little book or a little television and just relax. And it's okay to unwind once in a while, and maybe take that time to reflect on your life and your relationships and things like that. And just it helps kind of recharge your battery sometimes, just having some downtime. And it's okay to say no. It's, sometimes people say, oh, I can't say no. People are asking me to do these things all the time, but you have the permission to say no.
I love that. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Chris says it's okay.
It's okay to say no.
Make a sticker. I love it.
It took me a long time. I tell you, about 5-10 years ago, I was on like 5 board of directors. I was on doing everything. I wasn't even being able to have personal time, and I was still running my business. And then I was in the community so much. I'm like, I go time out. I go, I'm way overextended. So now I'm like doing one thing, and one thing is good, but I'm still overwhelmed with stuff because I'm doing other technology things and trying to get my businesses all going in certain ways. But
Right. And you're an extrovert, and there's people that are introverts that your battery gets filled up when you're around people and activities, which is awesome. And there's people that have the opposite,
Yeah.
and my husband is an introvert. And so he will do things, but I just know that his battery runs out and he'll need a day to kind of recuperate,
Yep.
which basically ties into our next question.
Yeah.
Is how can someone use self-care and healthy boundaries
Uh,
to protect their emotional energy on Valentine's Day? And you kind of answered this already about giving us the permission to say no. Thank you very much.
yep.
Because sometimes, like you said, you just need that recharge time, even if you're an
Yep.
extrovert. But is there anything else you wanted to say about self care,
I
possibly?
tell you, self-care, because when I was a caregiver to my wife for the 4.5, 5 years while she was uh, being treated for her illness, I totally neglected myself because it was always about Rhonda and making sure she had all the needs that she needed to get her through her crisis at the time. And after her passing, one thing I found out is like, you know what? I need to start taking care of myself. And so I do. So once a month, I schedule a massage, and I even started doing like manicures and pedicures. And that might be guys are going, what? You're doing a manicure, pedicure? There was a friend of mine, and he was on my show a while back. Tim Hunter. He's a funeral director friend that lives in Toronto, Canada. About 3 years ago, we were traveling somewhere, and me and another funeral director friend, Paul Hummel, the three of us were together for the weekend, just enjoying each other's company and sharing stories and stuff. And Paul has three, a wife and two daughters, and so he's done many manicures, pedicures. Paul and I started talking to Kim about this, and he said, "Oh, he goes, that's for women. You don't do manicures, pedicures." And we're like, "We're taking you for a manicure, pedicure." So Paul and I, we scheduled a place. The three of us went down into this place. It was Kim's first manicure, pedicure, and after that, he couldn't believe what a wonderful experience it was. So I want to tell the guys out there, if there's something that you don't feel comfortable doing, but it's something that you can do with your wife, take her for a manicure, pedicure, because she does it anyway, but you will be spoiled by having your feet and hands taken care of. And it's a good time. You sit into a chair, there's a massage chair, you sit next to your wife, you can share some time together, and it's a good bonding time, and it's kind of that self-care thing. So take the time for self-care, take the time to meditate, exercise, taking care of yourself. It helps re-energize your body, and it keeps you moving forward and going forward. So I'm a big proponent on taking a little time out for yourself. Extrovert or introvert, it doesn't matter. If you're single or married, it doesn't matter. You need to take care of yourself at any time, just not around Valentine's Day, but every time of the year, all year long, all the time. It's important. And I tell you, it makes me feel better after a day of massage or stuff. I always do it late in the afternoon. So then afterwards, I just have a little snack, and then I just go to bed. And I tell you, I'm ready for the next day. I'm ready for it's good for 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm actually have one scheduled here in about 2 weeks of massage. So I do again once a month, and about every 4 to 5 weeks. And it's just you got to put it on the calendar, and that's what's important. You got these things here. It's called the phone. I turn it off for a couple hours and have a massage. It's a wonderful thing. You just what is it? You escape from technology. You escape from the world, and you take care of yourself. And I tell you, you'll be a better person for it.
I love it. And also, I don't even know all the details, but I know that just for example, just a pedicure,
Yeah.
that actually is really good for your health. A lot of older gentlemen now are recognizing that, when you have your feet taken care of, it's really the foundation, like acupuncture and
Yep.
acupressure. The feet is the
It
gateway
is.
to your body, and it literally will make you feel better as well as live longer. So,
Well,
so
I was
we,
going to say also with like people older, you get your circulation's not good. So for like diabetes and stuff like that, if you get a foot massage, it helps the circulation in your feet.
yeah.
And it does your feet, like you said, is the foundation of your body. And so if your feet are in good shape, the rest of your body feels better.
Yeah, I love it. Amen. We actually have someone else came on, Stacy. Thank you. This is an important conversation that she said. I'm glad we're getting this out here. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Stacy.
great. Thank
We
you.
agree. That's what the show is all about, right? It's all about getting information out there.
That's
Um,
right.
we want to make sure that people feel comfortable with all aspects of life. I mean, we're focusing on self care and things you can do on different holidays. But at the end of the day, we serve people um, in one of their most vulnerable times of life.
Yes.
We have a location both in Corona and in Riverside, and the staff there. I was actually just talking to someone from a different funeral home in Orange County, and she was like, we were both like, oh yeah, oh yeah. I said that people who work for funeral homes, there's something about it's like a calling
It is.
that you are angels on earth, or you're there in the
In the thick
kind of
of
the
it.
pit of despair, lifting people up and encouraging them. So again, you've made the comment before that no one casually stops by to visit you at work,
Nope.
but
No one
it's
ever
just
wants to
another
come back.
place of work that people are there to serve. And I know that you, by living up through example, help your team take those times to do self-care and things so they can be revived and helpful to the
Yep.
families that come in, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That is so true.
I love it. Okay, well, let's get to the last. I think we only have one or two questions left.
Okay.
Um, so we just talked about social plans and healthcare. And the last question of the day
Yes.
is it kind of ties into this as well. But what do you say to friends or coworkers who want to help? And this is not just for Valentine's, but don't know what to say or do. So everybody says, "Let me know if I can help," and that's really not the best thing to say when
Yeah.
someone dies, because no one's ever going to reach out and say, "I have something for you." They're just overwhelmed. So maybe this is advice to people who maybe work or are friends with someone who has lost someone recently. Um, what do you suggest they say to a person who's lost someone, that it doesn't make it awkward?
Sure. So I would say instead of saying, "Oh, how can I help you?" what you need to do is take the initiative and just do something for that person. So I know typically right when somebody passes away, some people like don't eat a lot, and so it's good to get together maybe a couple friends and friends of that person, and maybe put together like a food train and maybe get some meals and have some meals prepared and take meals to them. Um, Also, maybe just getting a group of people to sending them like a text message once a day and saying, "Hey, can you just reach out to that person, sending them a message?" So instead of just asking for something, because the person is usually going to say, "I don't need anything," and I was one of the I was one of those people too, because when my wife passed away, um, everybody said, "Oh, let me make you food. Let me make you food." I'm like, "You don't need to make me food. I know how to cook. I did all the cooking when she was alive." So I go, I don't need somebody to be making me food. I find that therapeutic. So I didn't want people to steal my joy by taking the cooking away from me. So I said, don't prepare food. You can do other things of coming by to visit or say hi or whatever. But I would say if people say I don't need anything or I don't need any help, do something creative to just let them know that you're there thinking of them. I think that means a lot. Just to know that there's other people out there checking in on you, just saying, "Hey, my thoughts and prayers are with you." And if you get a chain of like 5, 10, 15 people doing that over a couple weeks or so, and even throughout the year, on special holidays, and we try to do that at our funeral home through some of our aftercare. We try to send out text messages and reminders to people on their anniversary date or on their birthday date or around the holidays, letting families know that we still remember them. Because um, a week or two right from the person that you've lost, everybody's around. Family comes in from around the country, friends are all around, but it's always that a month later, 6 months later, people kind of get back to their routines and they forget. And that's what's important, is maybe checking in on those people a couple months from now. That's what would be meaning. Set a reminder on your phone, maybe like a couple months from now, and say, hey, let me reach out to that person and say hello. I know I always get a couple text messages from a few people, and I'll be getting them here in the next day or two. And I've had them for 8, 9 years. Somebody says, hey, just thinking of you about today, knowing that my wife had passed away. And it's 8 years later, and it's a text message. And it's just a little quick thing. It's like, oh, those people are still, I'm in their prayers, I'm in their thoughts. So those are the types of things you do. And so be proactive about it. Instead of asking that person, just do it.
I love it. You and Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
I love it. And that's nice to know that you still appreciate those texts, because some
Sure.
people might think, oh, after a couple of years, it might be annoying. But the fact that they keep doing it after 8 or 9
Yeah.
years, that it means something to you, that is a really good note,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's not offensive. It doesn't hurt me. It's like, and even though I've moved on with my grief and moved forward, it's still okay because sometimes again those people are still thinking of me, and and so I think that's just an awesome thing. So it's
Yeah.
okay.
And it's also nice because to send it to the children, because the children have lost their mother. They're not like they'll never get another mother back. And so the
Yeah.
fact that sending a text to a friend's kids who they might be needing an extra love. I have a friend
Sure.
who passed away, and we grew up together. And so I was, I wasn't super close to her kids, but I would see them when I would visit my friend, and she was in my wedding, and so I have a notice on my phone for the first year, actually 2 or 3 years. Every month on the first of the month, I would send them each a text message,
Okay.
just thinking about
There
you.
you
And
go.
on her birthday, hey, how are you doing? Just checking in. And it's always come back positive. Thank you so much. And they call me Aunt Mary. I'm not really their aunt.
Yeah.
But you just reminded me that, and I haven't been doing it lately because it's been now probably 5 years.
Yeah.
But I like to reach out, especially on her anniversary date in
Yeah.
heaven, just to say, hey, and also to her husband, and because anyways. But it is nice. So thank you for that reminder, Chris. I have to
Yeah.
get back into doing
Yeah,
that.
and it's just and you might have forgotten a year, but then you know what? Anytime you think of a person, you should just send them that note, and it could
Yeah,
be somebody you haven't thought of for 4 or 5 years, and you're hey, just thinking of you today. There was a reason, an innate reason why the Spirit of God put something down on you today to think of that person. So
yeah,
you should share that with that person.
yeah. That's lovely. I love that. Speaking of, because we said we are going to end the show with this, because we're not having a show in March. The next one is going to be on April 10th, and we'll
Yes.
probably be like winding into Mother's Day. In fact, we'll be announcing some activities that we're going to be doing around Mother's Day, either a grief workshop or maybe another painting party.
Yes.
Again, that would be able to serve people either at the reception center or maybe at another location, but we'll be
Yes.
announcing that. But again, tell us why again what your missions trip is
Sure.
coming up in March.
So in March, I'm going to be going to Armenia for about a week and a half, and this is going to be a new exploration for our church at Crossroads Christian Church here in Corona, and we have about 16 of us are going, and we have two groups that are going of the 16. Half of our group is going to be actually on a prayer mission, and the other half is is our worship team mission, and we're going to Armenia to reach unreached people groups that know nothing about the Spirit of God or have any religion whatsoever. And so we have a team that are going to be praying over people and reaching people that have never heard anything about the Word of God. And then our worship team is going to work with a team called Triad that is there in Armenia, and they are going to be putting together special music. They're actually going to be writing music with the team there over a 10-day period, and we're going to be performing music and writing special music for those people there, and showing them the technology, the importance of music, of how music is a catalyst for bringing people to God. So I'm looking forward to working with this and praying over the land, praying over the people, and praying over the region, because the region in that area has so many different cultures, but we're going to be able to outreach and pray for these people. And so I really am I'm excited. I've been praying about it, and I ask for everybody out there to pray for me, to pray for my safety and my travels, and pray that we will be successful in our mission of reaching unreached people for God.
I love that. That's good. And I love you're just giddy about it, which is just
Yeah,
the spirit is there. So
it
that is
is.
wonderful. Okay, awesome. I'll be definitely praying for you.
Thank you.
And all right, so this wraps up our show, the episode 30, which we kicked off saying that we can't believe it's been 30 episodes so far.
Yes.
But again, if you are struggling this holiday, again, we just wanted to give a few tips. But if you still are struggling, you can go to our website. We have a little AI assistant that you can talk to actually that
Yeah.
might bring you some compassion, but also if you want anybody from the home to reach out to you and refer a counselor to you or whatever, there's so many resources. We've also partnered locally with the Stevens Center. They are a grief provider, a grief
Yeah.
care provider, I guess
Yeah.
you'd call it. And so we are partnering with them with different grief workshops. So there's so many resources available. And as we've learned through these grief workshops and things over the years, there isn't just a checklist that you can check off when it comes to
No.
your grief. It's a process that never ends. And the reason you have grief is because you love someone so much.
Much.
So as one of my favorite quotes is grief is just love with nowhere to go.
There you
And
go.
so just
Yeah.
almost celebrate the love that you had that was so deep.
Yeah.
It's making you miss that loved one on
That's right.
Valentine's Day. So
That's right.
celebrate that grief because that is
Absolutely.
a part of you. So,
That's right.
anyways, yay. All right. So thanks again, Chris. We'll see you on
You bet.
April 10th.
Yes.
Until then, everyone, please have a blessed Galentine's Day today and Valentine's Day
Valentine's weekend.
tomorrow. And do good things.
Wonderful.
Awesome. All right. We'll see you back on April 10th. Have a
You
wonderful
bet.
day. God bless.
Take care now. Bye bye.